morning. Here I am at CrossFit this morning. One of my favorite ways to start the day. I love starting my day with a workout. I don't always feel like going, but once I'm there and doing it, I'm so happy, and it always feels good when you're done. We did lots of burpee box jump overs and kettlebell swings and thrusters today. It was a great workout. Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. It's Carol here, and I'm back with another What I Eat in a Day video. If you're new here, I am Carol, and I've been eating a whole food plant-based diet for a couple years, and it has really helped me with my inflammation, hormone imbalances. It's helped me to stay lean and fit. I'm 50 years old, and as you can see, I went to CrossFit this morning. I go about 2 or 3 times a week. I really love to be active and fit. And I prepped a big salad yesterday, and I'm having some of that with some of the dressing I made yesterday also. And I also have a piece of shepherd's pie that was left over from the Friendsgiving. This is just mashed potatoes on top with a bunch of lentils and veggies on the bottom. It's super delicious. And that is going to be my lunch today. I have a lot of phone calls and work and computer stuff to do over the next couple hours, so I will catch up with you a little bit later. Okay, I'm home from the DMV, and my son did not pass the test again today. That was his second attempt, but he's very close. He was slightly more than a foot away from the curb when he parallel parked, so he got points off for that. So he was very close, only a couple points over. So next time I feel like he's gonna get it. He has to wait 1 more week before he can take it again. We're getting closer, thank goodness. I am still hungry. I'm having the rest of my salad that I didn't get to finish before I left, and my gold potatoes that I steamed before I left. I already ate one. I am making my son a quesadilla. This is just refried beans with some of the cheese sauce I made yesterday. And I'm going to cook it up in a pan, toast it up for him, and that will be a high protein snack. They have track and field practice in 2 hours, so they've got time for a little snack. I buy these low carb tortillas. Each one has 5 grams of protein and 9 grams of fiber. So this is a really high fiber snack for these kids. So after I finish my lunch here, I'm excited. I'm going to make a new recipe. This is a recipe by a gentleman. His Instagram is Healthy Vegan Eating, and I have been following him for like the last 2 months. It has just grown exponentially. He posts reels and videos every day on Instagram, and they're all amazing healthy vegan food and great recipes, great ideas. He's got lots of treats and sweets and baked goods. I just think he's really inspirational. He needs to get a YouTube channel, and he said he's gonna start doing coaching and a cookbook in the new year, so that's exciting. Anyway, this recipe is from him. It is his veggie ground, like a ground beef, and he makes it using cauliflower and walnuts. So I'm gonna make a variation of that. He uses 1.5 cups of walnuts in his recipe, and that's a little nut heavy for me. I'm sure it's delicious. He uses a lot of nuts and seeds in his recipes, and they all look decadent and amazing. But I'm going to use maybe a mixture of oats and walnuts to get that sort of texture, and all the rest of the ingredients I'm going to keep the same. And I'm going to make some tacos with those later. Or, you know, you can use it in lasagna. You can make meatballs out of it. He gives you a lot of different ways to use it. So I will link his Instagram if I can. I'm not sure I know how to do that. I will just type it out for you, his Instagram, if you want to go check him out. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know I exist. But I just think he's really cool, and he's a good follow on Instagram. And I'm excited to make this recipe because I've never seen anything quite like this, and it looks delicious when he uses it in all of his recipes, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. But it's a lot of food processor, and it makes a huge amount because I bought that giant head of cauliflower, so I'm excited to just have something to eat the next few days. I made the cauliflower casserole the other day and ate it all. It was pretty low in calories. It was like 2/3 cauliflower, 1/3 potatoes with cheese sauce. So not super calorie dense. And I found that I needed to eat a lot of it to get full. It's one of those things that was so delicious too that I just kept eating and eating and eating. I could have had it with some steamed broccoli, but every time I went to eat it, I was in such a rush that I just put it on a plate and ate it, and it was so good, and I'm looking forward to having another prepped item that I can eat for the next couple days. Okay, let's get started on our veggie ground. So the recipe calls for 1 head of cauliflower. I have this giant head of organic cauliflower that I got at Costco. Okay, just like that. You want it into like a fine rice type of texture. You just don't want any big chunks in there. I'm going to continue with this whole head of cauliflower. You guys know that when I cook with cauliflower, I use the leaves and the stalk and everything. I just trim off the hard woody end and use the rest of it and grind it all up. It tastes great to me, and I don't want to waste any of it. I'm just going to keep going with this cauliflower and put it all in my large pan. Okay, next the recipe calls for 2 carrots. I had 3 little tiny ones, so I'm going to do the same thing. Just get these chopped up. Look at that beautiful color. So you just want everything ground up finely. Next, the recipe calls for 1 onion, and I had 1 medium onion and 1 tiny onion, so I'm just putting all of that in there. Same thing, just chop it up really fine. Okay, put all of this in the largest pan you have, and I'm just going to simmer it and start to add the spices. Okay, so Healthy Vegan Eating's recipe calls for 1.5 cups of walnuts. And I have these walnut halves, but I only have about 3/4 of a cup of those. I'm going to use some oats also, just to give it a little more texture. Maybe like 1/2 cup of oats. I'm going to grind these up together. Okay, so that kind of stretched the walnuts out, and it's going to give it some texture. I think some cooked quinoa would be good in here also, or some cooked lentils. Maybe some brown rice or black rice would be good too. Okay, now I'm going to do the mushrooms. I'm going to just chop these up finely. He uses portobello mushrooms, I think, in his recipe, but these are baby bellas. Okay, so I've been cooking these down for just about 10 minutes. The onions are still pretty raw. We're starting to get a little bit softened. I just put 3 bay leaves in there also. That wasn't in his original recipe, but sounded good. Okay, now we're gonna get the spices in there. So I have 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. I'm just using the pre-minced kind. 3 tablespoons of tomato paste. 2 teaspoons of cumin. 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. 2 teaspoons of sage. I love sage. A teaspoon of ground thyme. 2 teaspoons of oregano. And I'm going to put some onion powder and garlic powder as well. I'm just going to keep stirring this and cooking it together until all the veggies have softened. Okay, the veggie ground is done. It smells amazing. I'm just waiting for it to cool a little bit. I steamed up the rest of that head of cauliflower that wouldn't fit in the pan, and I just put some nutritional yeast and some garlic salt on it, and I'm just snacking on this. This tastes amazing. I just love steamed vegetables, which reminds me, I'm going to be starting a potato reset on Monday, December 6th. This is where I'm going to be eating only potatoes and veggies for 5 days. I'm going to be posting about what I eat, the recipes I come up with. I have a lot of ideas for things that we can make with potatoes. I did a potato reset last year in December around the same time, and it was really fun. It was a fun way to get creative with potato recipes. The reason we're choosing potatoes is they are the lowest calorie dense starch and also the most satiating food on the planet. So you can eat lots of potatoes until you're full and satisfied and not have to worry about gaining any weight. In fact, you'll probably lose weight over the 5 days if you want to do this with me, because we're essentially eating a fat-free diet. We're eliminating all processed food. We're only having super nutritious, healthful ingredients like potatoes and vegetables. And we're also having small amounts of oil-free condiments like ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce, things like that. Use them sparingly, but you can use them for sure. It's up to you if you want it to include fruit in your diet for the 5 days or not. I don't really see fruit as a problem. I think it's an amazing, healthful ingredient, full of nutrients and fiber and water. So yeah, I don't really see a need to eliminate fruit from your diet, but that is up to you 100%. I don't eat a lot of fruit anyway, unfortunately. I don't get my daily dose of fruit in more often than I'd like to admit. I will leave a link to the Facebook group down below. I like the Facebook group because we can all share pictures of our food and I can see what you're eating, you can see what I'm eating, and we can talk to each other through there. I think that's a good way to share in a sort of a community atmosphere where we can all support each other. We can all share ideas. I can get ideas from you guys and you can get ideas from me. But I feel like it's just a great time of year to do something like this in between holidays. And it's a great way to reset your taste buds if you've been indulging a little more than you'd like to this time of year, like many of us have. It's just a great way to get back on track and reduce your foods down to the simplest, most nutritious foods you can possibly be eating. And it's a great way to take care of yourself this time of year as well. So let me know if you're in down below. Click the link to join the Facebook group. Otherwise, you can just follow me here and you'll be seeing a lot of potato recipes next week. Okay, I am excited to try some of this ground. I had a few bites of it and it's really good. It has a little bit of crunch from the walnuts, like I was expecting. That's okay. I made some tacos with mine with my cheese sauce and some salsa and some cilantro and some avocado. I'm eating all this stuff up before the potato reset, and let's give it a taste. It's so good. It's really meaty tasting. It really tastes like Italian meatballs to me though. So I'm expecting it to taste really good with some pasta, some tomato sauce, some garlic bread, things like that. Tacos might not be the best application for it. It's got a really good texture and flavor. I'm gonna finish this up. I'm watching some cheesy Christmas movie and loving it. And this is gonna be it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.